Hi, everybody. Bruce Schutter here with the Mental Health Warrior Program podcast, No Surrender. Now, today I want to talk about, well, we're going to have a little fun because we're going to learn to laugh at ourselves. It's okay to laugh at yourself and you will not break. Guarantee it. So we're going to talk about that why. You're probably saying, okay, Bruce, are we talking about mental health? Being mental health warriors. This is so serious. True. And our challenges are serious, so I'm not downplaying them. I'm certainly not saying my challenges, bipolar, anxiety disorders, that they are not important to address or they're not serious. But laughter is a fantastic tool, and it's something when you can learn to do and laugh at some of the mistakes or the situations you find yourself in, that shows how much you've grown as a mental health warrior. So it's a fantastic thing we're going to talk about today because we're going to have a little fun, a little storytelling, and I think you'll see how you can start to laugh occasionally, and that is progress as a mental health warrior. So I'm going to jump right into this because we had a big Saturday night planned. I had a big Saturday night plan. Now, like most of the times, you want to do something special because it's Saturday night. And so the first thing was we're going to have movie night. And we're going to have snacks. And we're going to be ready because we're going to get all these things done during the day. So we're going to be ready to take that whole night off. Woo, what a fantastic plan. Everything was in alignment. The stars were in alignment. And as a mental health warrior, I felt prepared on Saturday morning and how I was going to be so ready. So here we go. What happened? Well, the first thing that happened was I jumped into task number one. So we got up in the morning, went to go get coffee, got started, had my Diet Coke. I don't drink coffee, but that's okay because we were jumping into things and we were fantastically moving forward until I realized I had forgotten to get gas in the car all week and we were down to 20 miles left. Okay, so I'm driving to get coffee. Not quite awake, and I'm realizing I hope I have enough for us to get to the place we're going to get our coffee. So there's the first part where I started laughing because I had all week long to handle getting the car filled with gasoline. But I was busy and things came up. Now, I'm bringing this up because in the past, a mistake like that would have ruined the day for me. It would have started me off and maybe sent me into depression, believe it or not, because I would have said, Bruce, you can't handle anything. Look at this. You can't even make sure you're planning to get gas. But today as a warrior, I realized that was because I was so busy getting things done all week and I was watching the gauge. I knew we had enough miles to get down there and then go to the store, actually the grocery store, where we had all these points built up, and use them to get some discounted gas. So again, I had the choice as a warrior. Do I start laughing about the situation and then get the victories of going and getting the gas and the points? Or do I go back to the old Bruce, tank the day, go home, and just fall into a pit of despair? Well, no, warriors, we learn to laugh at ourselves. So I started chuckling and I just couldn't believe it. And I made fun of it and started to even joke. I hope we make it there. Because I certainly didn't really want to run out of gas on the way to get that coffee or your caffeine. But I also knew we had enough and I was making light of the situation, which allowed me to move forward, have a great cup of coffee, have a great Diet Coke in my case, start the day out, and then go to the grocery store again, realizing I was already there early. There was no line. I could jump in and get the gas pump, get the gas filled, and use my points. So again, by learning to laugh, I allowed myself to move forward and take the next steps in order to get those victories. Now, that was a great example to me of how the new mental health warrior uses laughter to keep moving forward. Now, we got home then after that, and I decided, it's Saturday morning still. I'm going to tackle that task that no one likes to do, that mountain of laundry. The laundry that has been piling up all week, the things that were maybe even not put away from the last time, but got used and now are still back in the pile. So again, here we are with some life challenges. And again, each one of those little challenges has the potential to take us down and start us on that downward slide, but we're not going to let it. because we can learn to laugh at it. So I chuckled as I gathered all of the laundry and put things together, realizing, wow, we had a lot to do. I started doing it in the laundry and getting it all clean, and I started completing the task and feeling great. And as I started putting out the clothes on the bed, I was going to start putting them away. I got distracted to go into the kitchen and do a little bit of cleanup from the dishes. Obviously, another fun task we all get. My point was, when I came back, I found on the fresh laundry, we have 2 cats, and it's very hot out. They get a lot of hairballs. They had coughed up a few hairballs on the nice, clean laundry that I just got done. Now, again, I'm sure you're laughing. If you have pets, you understand this story. Maybe if you have kids, it could be a similar thing. We don't have kids, but they could come in and maybe they spilled jam or cookies all over the laundry you just did. Again, I had a choice as a warrior. Do I learn to laugh at the situation? I did. Because otherwise it could turn into one of those things like I talked about, where it takes you all the way down and starts that downward slope. Or it could turn you into anger because you get frustrated. I just spent all this time doing this. But I also realized it was Saturday. I was ahead of the game, and I'm using my warrior tools and learning to laugh. And I said, this is kind of funny, and it's just a few items. It'll take me 20 minutes to throw them back in, and they'll be done. Because again, I'm still plenty of tasks to work on, plenty of things I can do. It's not going to derail my day. So you can again see, this is another example of something simple, and we learn to laugh at it. And again, we disarm that power. We disarm that challenge. Now, I'm saying that and chuckling because, again, I had mentioned with bipolar, it can throw you into depression for no reason. Your anxiety could go over the top. A lot of this also puts you on edge in those type of challenges. And your anger or your irritability can be up there. We can diffuse that, right, with laughter. Again, you see the point and the power of it. And I'm just getting through the beginning of the day. And I've already found 3, 4, 5 times I could use laughter. That's fantastic as a warrior tool. Plus, it allowed me to keep moving forward. So now we're moving towards that grand movie night. We are getting foods ready. We're going to have nachos. We're going to have all the ingredients to have some dipping sauces. We're going to have movies. They're all picked out. We're going to have this all set up so that the chores are done in the afternoon. And I can sit down now in my clean clothes and I'll be able to watch these great shows. Well, we sit down, and if a lot of places like where you're at, it's been super hot. So as we go to sit down, well, we fire up the TV and everything, and a storm rolls in. So what happens? The power goes out. Right as we're about to sit down and get settled in to maybe fire up that first TV show. So now we're sitting in the dark, and I'm looking around, well, sort of staring into the darkness, but I'm thinking as a warrior, well, here we go again. My choice is, do I handle the emotions? Do I handle maybe a little anxiety? What are we going to do? Oh my gosh, it's all the things have shut down. It's hot out. This storm is rolling through. It's a little bit scary maybe. It was a pretty good storm, I'll tell you. But again, I found the best thing to do was to kind of roll with the punches and start laughing. And yes, I did, even sitting there in the dark, and my wife kind of in the other side of the couch saying, what are you laughing about? And I said, the situation, the fact we made all these plans and life threw me a challenge I certainly did not expect. And I did not expect this one. And I really wasn't even planned for it. But I guess I was, because I grabbed my little iPhone, fired up the little flashlight, went around and was able to check on things, make sure I closed all the doors. And again, the storm rolled through, but shortly after the power came back on. But again, I was able to laugh about it and use that power. So we kept moving forward. Now we got power back. We got the movies ready. Here we go. We put the nachos in. We're ready to eat. We're getting them all nuked in the microwave as the cheese is melting. And again, did we remember to feed the cats? No. So we quickly throw in their food, get them going. And meanwhile, I forget. And the chips have been microwaved a little too much. So now we grab out the chips, and they're like microwave cardboard. Wasn't paying attention because I'd set it for a couple minutes. Again, did I ruin the evening? There's that thought. There's the anxiety. There's that thought crossing your mind. And as a warrior, I said, no, No, I said, you know what? I got to lap this out because it's not the end of the world. And again, made a new batch. And the other ones, well, they were a little extra chewy, but you know what? They were still edible. And there's plenty of dipping sauces we had. So again, there was the solution. But what I'm trying to show you as a warrior, that laughter was the key that bridged us getting from a problem to a solution. Just like in the morning. Almost ruined the day thinking, oh, you're going to run out of gas. But realizing once I went to get gas, had all the points, had the program, and I was celebrating that all day. Same thing here. Didn't ruin the evening. Managed to deal with the power outage. Managed to deal with my misplanning of the cat feeding time / our feeding time. And now we're settled down with the fresh batch of nachos. We are moving forward here and we're laughing about the situation. And we start the movies. And we start movie one. And again, now in this case, one of the things we like to do is I like to pick and find some we like horror movies, but I like to find some bad horror movies. And it's kind of fun because you get to rip them apart. Sometimes they're just so over the top bad, you can just start laughing about them too. But once again, there's also the challenge because I put in this first bad movie and it was so horrible we didn't make it through the credits. So I put in the second movie. We made it through the credits. 3 minutes into it, couldn't take the filming. It was so terrible. Moved to number 3, 4 minutes into it. Again, another one that we just couldn't handle the dialogue. It was so slow. Now, at this point, you can see what's happening. Here's another life challenge. Here's another situation. We have a choice. Do we laugh about it and then move on? Manage the emotions that come with it? Or do we start feeling like, well, there's absolutely nothing to watch. Our life is terrible. Look at all the things that have gone wrong. Oh, that's the slope I almost slipped down. And again, laughter saved us. And laughter's that tool because I started laughing about it and saying, my gosh, I've picked 4 movies in a row, I think, at this point that were all terrible. I said, let's give it one more shot. Then we'll go back to our tried and true shows. We always have a few backups just in case. And I'm sure many of you do this with the streaming services because you have things bookmarked all over the place. So we put in that 5th movie. And sure enough, it turned out to be a hidden gem. Now, how fantastic was that? And as we're watching it, this is a great horror movie, and we were having so much fun. It had scary parts, and it had funny parts. And it was a great thing as we're eating our nachos. Again, all because we could learn to laugh at some problems during the day and keep moving forward. And then, well, you know what? We needed a break because our soda glasses were empty and we needed a bathroom break because we had watched so many bad movies and eaten so many nachos. We needed to run to the bathroom and we were going to stop the TV. But you know what? We couldn't find the remote. Now, if you've ever seen this happen, you're on the couch, you got your food, you got your setup for your TV, everybody's enjoying it, and you go to stop the TV and put it on pause and you can't find the remote. It's disappeared in the folds of the pillows and the blankets or whatever's there. And again, it can be very frustrating and it could certainly even be that little piece that pushes you over the edge. Again, I even wrote about this in some articles because where did the remote end up? Under our cats sitting next to us. Now, I don't know how that happened, but it was fantastic because as soon as I found it after 5 minutes of searching while the movie's playing, and of course I had to rewind it a bit so I wouldn't miss that, but I realized that has to be one of the funniest things that could have been a bad experience, but what a hilarious experience. So my advice to you is always check under your pets if you're looking for the remote. That's the first spot. Next spot, well, under the cushions. Third spot, out in the kitchen, because that's where I tend to leave it a lot. But we are all going to use the power of laughter to get through any of those challenges. So that is what is so fantastic about this mental health warrior tool of learning to laugh at ourselves. And that is something you can use each and every day. Now, there are a lot more tools and a lot more power as mental health warriors that you can find. And you will find it out on bruceschutter.com. You can type in mental health warrior program out there on any of the search engines. And you will find all sorts of tools, all sorts of solutions on our site. You'll find 9 books of various lifestyle and mindset changes you can make. You will find the Mental Health Warrior Challenge coin, a way to carry the program with you each and every day. And you'll find the podcast and other blog articles to help you build your warrior strength so you can triumph over challenges. But today I want you to go forward and use the power of laughter as a warrior. And next time you're challenged, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself, your situation. You will not break. It shows your new strength being able to do that. So I'm going to sign out, and I'm going to go back and start planning for next Saturday. And I'm going to be able to laugh because I know there'll be mistakes made, and you can do the same. Thanks for tuning in. Bruce signing out. Go be a mental health warrior today and each and every day. Bye.